Hello everyone, Lorraine here. Welcome, and I'm glad to see you today. I'm very excited about this video. I've been giving it a lot of thought, and what I want to do today, and I hope that you will get ready with me as we do this, I want to share with you the top 25 things that I have learned in 75 years of living. Wow, imagine, can I actually put that in the time that it would take me to put on my face? Well, just stay with me and we'll see. First of all, though, my scent of the day is Guerlain Mon Guerlain. This was released in 2017, and for me, it's a complex floral fragrance, just perfect for the spring. It has notes of lavender, bergamot, iris, jasmine, rose, Tahitian vanilla, sandalwood, licorice, and patchouli. Now, this is a beautiful floral scent. It's light. Unfortunately, on my skin, it doesn't last that long, but I still love it, and it's my scent of the day. Now, today I'm going to briefly go over some of the things that I've learned in my long life. I don't know if we're going to have enough time. I don't know what I'm going to say about each item, and but I probably won't say too much about the products that I'm using for my makeup, but they will be listed and linked below for you. So we're going to start, and these are in no particular order. I had so much fun compiling this list, and they're in no particular order of importance or anything like that. They're just kind of random things that came to my mind that I wanted to share with you. And the first one is something that my mother always said to me. She said, you can't have everything. And of course, when you're young, you just hate to hear that, you know, but it's kind of true. And an example of that is if you want to save for a big purchase for a house or for a car or any big purchase, or if you want to really get into investing, you cannot then spend your money on travel, for example. So you can't sort of spend it and save it at the same time. It's just impossible. And so does that mean sacrifice? Well, maybe it does, or maybe you don't mind the not traveling or whatever it is you're prioritizing for. But the fact of the matter is, in that particular case, you can't have it both ways. You either spend or save. So that's one thing that I have really learned for sure. Another thing is to be a yes person. Accept challenges. Don't just automatically say no to a new experience. And this is not easy for me, for example, because I have mobility issues. And if I'm going anywhere which requires a certain amount of walking, I need to bring my walker with me. And so often I'll just find myself saying, oh, I can't be bothered to bring my walker, or I'm so embarrassed that I have to use a walker, or I'm so ashamed that I have to use a walker. And these are real concerns of those of us who have mobility issues. But be a yes person and accept the challenges. Another thing is, for another example, if somebody wants you to make a speech at a wedding or at a meeting or something, and you say, oh my gosh, I couldn't possibly do that. I can't do public speaking. Oh my gosh. Well, you can. Say yes. Accept the challenge. Prepare. Practice your speech. This is just an example of situations that come up in life where you have the opportunity to say yes to that invitation, or you have the option to say no. And of course, if you want to say no, you can say no. But for me, I have found it much more rewarding to be a yes person. Obviously, if somebody wants you to take hard drugs or anything high-risk behavior, you're going to use your judgment and not just automatically say yes. But I do find that that's kind of a healthy attitude in life, is just be a yes person. You'll see that I'm looking at my list here because I can't possibly remember all these things. Words are important. Oh, they are so important when we're speaking in the written word, in emails. I mean, how often does it happen that either you take offense or somebody takes offense to words that are in an email. It looks so innocuous, but sometimes just the wording is just not right. For many years during my career, my job required me to do a lot of writing, a lot of case presentations, if you will. And I remember seeing this saying that said, keep your words nice and soft in case you have to eat them. Well, I just loved that expression, and I printed it out, and for years I had that pinned in my workspace near my computer where I could see those all the time. And it was a reminder for me, not only in my work, but in life. Keep your words nice and soft in case you have to eat them. I love that. So that is something that really pays off. Now, I will say that I have prepared my skin this morning by cleansing, and I have my vitamin C serum on, a moisturizer, a sunscreen, and after letting all that dry, I put on a primer. So that's my skin prep for today. The next item on my list is nothing is the end of the world except the end of the world. So often we catastrophize things, you know, if we have a flat tire or we have a leak in the kitchen tap or we burn the eggs or whatever. Really, these things are really not important. They're not worth getting upset about, because the only thing that is the end of the world is the end of the world. And anything, you can cope with anything. And I think that having that attitude just prevents us from getting ourselves all upset about things that happen that are beyond our control, that can or cannot be fixed. And it's just a matter of changing our attitude from catastrophe to acceptance. That things happen, and we can deal with them. We can deal with anything. And we've all experienced that in all our lives on earth. We can deal with just about anything. By the time you're 65, 70, 75, yeah, we can pretty much deal with anything. And on to the next one, which is everything always works out. For example, if you apply for a job and you didn't get the job, well, you'll get another job. And when you look back, and that's happened to me, you know, I look back and I was so disappointed at the time. I just thought there would never be such a perfect job for me. And sure enough, another job came along. And that applies to if you've put an offer in on a house or an apartment and you don't get it and you're just so disappointed. But something else always comes along. And we learn this throughout our lives. We learn that things always work out. You know, if we feel that we don't have enough money to pay the bills, something always happens to get us out of our mess. So, yeah, so that's a good one. Things always work out. And the next one is, I have the right to change my mind. You know, I don't think I even knew that I had the right to change my mind until I was in my 40s. I don't know if I was brought up to be quite rigid in my decisions, to just stick to my original decisions. I don't know how that happened, but I do remember sort of an epiphany during my 40s that said, hey, you know, I've decided this, but I can decide that. I have a right to change my mind. So that's an important freedom, to know that you have the right to change your mind. And you don't have to explain that to anybody. And the reason that you have to change your mind can be yours alone. And, you know, going into that one, it's true. You don't have to explain your decisions to anybody. I just can't help commenting. This Misha BB cream is unbelievable. I don't know why I don't wear this every day of my life. This is the best foundation. I mean, it's a BB cream, but for me, it provides just a light covering, which is all I ever need, just a light coverage. And it's just the best. It just melts into the skin. It never, ever fails. It doesn't matter what sunscreen I have on or what primer I have on. So I really recommend this. And I've heard so many good things about this. I'll probably never be without it. And again, I don't know why I don't wear it every day. Now I'm going to take my brush and just brush everything in to blend it well. Now, about changing your mind. Now, for an example, if you decide to go on a trip with a friend or whatever, and then you decide or you think twice about it. Now, I'm not saying that you've booked the travel or anything, but you change your mind about it. You have that right. Yes, it might cause some hard feelings and disappointment with your friend, but you need to do what feels best for you, and you absolutely have the right to change your mind. You don't have to explain your actions or your decisions to anybody. If somebody asks you why your marriage failed, well, you don't owe anybody an explanation about that or any details. All you need to say is, it didn't work out. And that's plenty. You don't need to explain anything further. I like to use this big powder puff now and then, just for a change. This one, and so I put the powder on, and then I kind of scrunch the powder into the puff, and then I just press that all over my face. This is a gorgeous powder puff. It feels so soft, and I can just feel it going into my skin. And then I take my big powder brush and blend it in. The next one is, teeth are precious. I cannot emphasize this enough. When my mother was only in her 40s, I remember her struggling with her dentures. My father also, when he was in his 40s, having a partial plate that he had to take in and out at night and clean and fuss about. And oh, I remember thinking to myself, I don't want that in my life ever. Now, I was lucky. Most of my life, I did have a dental plan. So I was able to go for regular cleanings and regular dental care. And certainly, if you have a dental plan, that's a very precious thing to have. That's a very good benefit to have. But if you don't, I would really recommend making your teeth, the health of your teeth, a priority, a financial priority. Save money, because I have all my own teeth. I have some caps, yes, many caps, in fact, but I am so grateful to have healthy, strong teeth at age 75, and but it doesn't happen by accident. You really have to take care of the teeth. This is NYX Sweet Cheeks blush. Now, the top has come off this. I've used it quite a bit, but I love this blush. And this color I will put down below because I can't see what it is, but it's just the perfect color for me. The next one is, I've learned that cat hair gets everywhere. And I've really learned this since I started making videos, because just about every time I review my video, I see cat hair on my clothing, you know, and I have a white cat, so it's always white hair. And of course it gets all over the furniture and all over the floor, and oh my goodness gracious. So if you have a cat or even a dog, I suppose, pet hair is going to get everywhere, and there's no point in getting upset about it or even apologizing about it to your friends. If they come to visit you, that's kind of what they get. Very few situations are black and white, And you know what? The older I get, the more I realize that. And the more I find myself saying, especially if my grandchildren ask me a question and they expect some kind of a wise answer, quite often I just find myself saying, I don't know. The next on my list is that no one is perfect, including me. We all make mistakes. We all have lapses in judgment. We all say things that, whether we mean it or not, we are impulsive. We say things to hurt people. We disappoint people. And I'm not saying it's okay, because I think that we can grow in this area. We can learn to be more sensitive. We can learn to think before we speak. But none of us is going to attain perfection on this earth, and that's all there is to it. And so we need to always have this attitude of forgiveness. Now, of course, if you're in a frankly abusive situation, that is a whole different story. But, and again, you know, we need to be able to discern that for ourselves, and be with people who make us feel comfortable, that we're comfortable being around them, that we can relax and feel like we can be ourselves and we're not always being judged or criticized. But the fact of the matter is, people are always going to let us down. Not often, but they will occasionally. And it's just a complete human lack of perfection. And I think that is a really valuable lesson to learn. And another thing on my list is to be a winner. Behave in a way that makes you feel good about yourself. I often say this to my children. Take actions that are going to leave you feeling like your best self. That you can feel proud that you made that decision. That you're not going to be left feeling ashamed or embarrassed, or you're not going to look back and think, oh, I should have done it this way, or I should have done it that way. So that is another valuable lesson to learn, I think. The next is self-care and careful grooming are important ways to ensure that you feel good about yourself. It's very good for your self-esteem to look your best, to have a shower every day, to make sure that your hair is combed, maybe put on a little makeup. You don't have to, but maybe. Take care of your skin. Take care of your teeth. Make sure that your fingernails and toenails are well groomed. All these small things. And the same with your surroundings. Well, I still have 10 more items on my list, so obviously I have more to say than it takes the time to put on my face. So I will do a part 2 of this, and I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. God bless. Bye for now.